With your permission, I'm going to start recording this because I wish I had the recording on to start because you're really helping me to get down to I got to scrape the bottom, make sure I hit bedrock. So I'm going to start, I'm recording this, but continue.
Okay, I'll even tell you again on page 8 of my little booklet, second to the last paragraph, it starts with, as Madison expressed it, the local or municipal authorities form distinct and independent portions of the supremacy. So the federal government does not have supremacy. They never have. They've had very little of it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, so then CLEO goes on, and on page 7, second paragraph, the constitutions confer upon Congress of not all governmental powers, but only discrete enumerated ones. So I went through the Constitution, and I wanted to enumerate the law enforcement powers delegated by the states who form the federal government. We form them as a servant to us, not the other way around.
Right.
And so they are a creature of the states. And so
let me ask you this.
Okay, let me finish.
Go, continue.
Let me finish the 5 powers.
Okay, continue.
I went through the entire Constitution. There are 5 law enforcement powers delegated to the new central government. They are treason. Number 2, counterfeiting. Number 3, felonies committed on the high seas or piracies. Number 4, now we're going outside Article 1, Section 8, and to Article 4, Section 4, where it says the United States government shall guarantee to each state a Republican form of government and shall protect them from invasion. They're required to protect our borders from invasion. The last one is violations of treaties. So if some citizen violates a treaty that we have with Canada, or Australia, or Mexico, whatever, that can be a federal offense. That's all they get. Now, to keep it that way, to keep it discreet and limited, we, the states, must enforce the 10th Amendment. It's not, the federal government's not going to enforce the 10th Amendment. That's our job.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's pretty powerful.
Well, let me ask you this.
Let me tell you one other
Good,
quote.
continue. Go ahead.
Quote that proves that we have the responsibility to do what I've been saying. This is in my Supreme Court case, page 9, second paragraph. He quotes Federalist 51. Hence, a double security arises to the rights of the people. The different governments will control each other. At the same time, that each will be controlled by itself. And the whole thing is, a double security arises to the rights of the people when we do that. And so it is our obligation to keep the other governments under control and within their proper lane of authority.
So could you have arrested when those feds were sent in by Clinton? Could you have arrested them?
No, we should have just told them no and to get lost. We didn't need to arrest them.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
In fact, that's what we should have done, but no other sheriff would do it. All the other sheriffs acquiesced. All the other Arizona sheriffs were really ticked off about this. And then when it came down to asking each one what they wanted to do, I was the only one that said, I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to fight it.
Well, I salute you for that. What I'm trying to get to, as you can see what I'm trying to get to, an arrangement in which federal troops or members of federal policing entities would have to consider the prospect of their being arrested before they would try to claim national security, because we still have this problem of they come in over the top with national security.
They can be arrested.
What's that?
Not when they just come in and tell me because Clinton told them to get there and tell them that, we could have just said, get out of this meeting. We don't need you here. That's stupid. And not only that, take this answer back to Washington. We're not doing it. And it would have been over. But they threatened to arrest us, but they would never have done that. But because they're afraid of sheriffs, first of all. And then the second thing about all of this, what we're talking about really, is federalism and the powers exercised by the states relative to the powers that the federal government has. Well, they're all documented in the Constitution, so their powers are very limited. The states have much broader powers and broader regulatory authority. The government only has regulatory authority associated with the Commerce Clause, and that's very limited as well. So
Right.
they're not our boss, and it says that in here. On page 5, I believe it is. Let me get that real quick. And yeah, here it is. Page 5, they quote CLEO quotes New York v. U.S. from 1992, and he says this: "We have held, however, that state legislatures are not subject. We're not even subject to federal direction. Federal direction. They're not our boss." And when I was sheriff, we had a real problem with fixing a bridge because the EPA and Army Corps of Engineers came in and said we couldn't fix the bridge until they conducted their environmental impact study. We're not building a new bridge. We're just repairing one. And they wouldn't let us. So finally, the board voted unanimously to fix the bridge. And I wasn't involved in this. The sheriff isn't in charge of fixing bridges.
Right.
But now, the Army Corps of Engineers and EPA threatened to arrest the county commissioners and the maintenance workers and charge the county $35,000 a day for every day we're in violation. I called them in and I said, "You're not arresting anybody in my county, or I will arrest you because you have no authority to do that here, and I'm not going to tolerate it. And so we'll get along fine. I'm a nice guy, but you're not arresting anybody in my county." They left town. I didn't tell them they had to, but they left town the next day, and we fixed our bridge.
Well, that's awesome.
It takes standing up to them.
Absolutely. For example, the trader Tom Dart in Cook County, Illinois, he's a former roommate of Illinois State Senator Barack Obama. What a disaster. He puts a float for the Cook County Sheriff's Department in the homosexual pride. It's just a disgusting. He's such a traitor to Mount Carmel High School, Chicago Catholic League. It's just disgusting. He has no backbone, total convictionless chameleon. He's a total Talmudist. He's a Talmudic toady, a Talmudic line-towing toady. But it's disgusting. And he got recognized as one of the 100 most influential people in ridiculous Time Magazine's Talmudic toadies, I don't know, 20 years ago, 12 years ago. But anyway, because I'm trying to figure out how, if they could try to come in over the top of claiming national security, terrorism, this type of thing, because Mike Adams says that Sheldon Adelson's widow gave Trump $100 million, which the quid pro quo was that he would criminalize any speech considered by the Anti-Defamation League of the Southern Poverty Law Center to be anti-Semitic. So that's what would be like the nearest detriment vector besides what Dane Wiggington...
What about the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center doing hate speech towards me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're the ones that we should be going in and arresting. Absolutely.
I've got to run, but if you get another question, just email me.
I'll definitely do that. Because I want to produce something, a template that everyone else I can send out that people can just predicate reliance upon and take America back before there's nothing left to take. Great job at the Bundy Ranch.
And let me tell you, if there's any way you can do a donation to us,
I joined up. I already joined up. I bought the $100 for. Yeah, I'm a posse member.
But if you make any other donation, I thank you for being part of the posse, and I thank you for anything you can do to help us financially.
Well, I'm doing everything I can to put up a global protective shield to stop this depopulation, but while it might still be stopped. But anyway, call me. Anyone who's got problems. This is my first rodeo. I'm 64 years old, so I got a whole template how to deal with unavoidable interactions with representative nominal government entities to secure the theater and stabilize it, and don't come out any worse than you started, and then start a contra investigation where they're constantly on the defensive and start getting criminal convictions of these people who are doing things like trying to criminally prosecute Joe Bannister. That was just so over the top. Similar type things. Thanks, Sheriff Mack. Call me out if you got any emergencies. Bye-bye.